Now, you probably have gathered in the new year. I think they're talking about sometime in March, maybe, the very start of April, there is going to be an election in this country. So if playing real-life democracy is just a bit too boring for you, how about sitting down to a nice game, nice board game called Democracy over Christmas? But there's more to it than just that, because what I like about this is the fact that whilst there may be Democrats playing the game, one of them is a dictator, and the whole thing is to try and beat the dictator. I'd like to be the dictator, and I'd like you to try and beat me. That sounds like a Christmas for me. It's proven to be a very popular new game. It's Irish, and its co-creator, John Lockery, is on the phone. John, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Tom. I'm fine, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm very well indeed. I've always wondered, how difficult is it to invent a new board game?
Actually, it sort of happened by accident, so I'm not quite sure about that.
How did it happen?
It happened a couple of years ago around the breakfast table on a Sunday morning. We were kind of fed up with the greed is good culture, and of course the current political climate and economic climate contributed to it. And we kind of just thought, well, let's see if we can come up with something that's a bit different from the usual kind of Monopoly style game that's out there, you know. So, it's been challenging at times, it's been interesting at times, but it's been good fun as well, you know.
So what's the basic premise of it? How do you play it?
Well, the basic premise is it reverses the normal gameplay that you would find in a game like Monopoly, where one person is trying to kind of dominate and win out everything. Whereas in democracy, one person, as you rightly said, the dictator starts out with more power than anyone else, and then all the other players have to try and stop that person from dominating and taking control of everything.
I find the idea of being the dictator very attractive.
A lot of people do. It brings out interesting characteristics in the players.
Bring it on, bring it on. Can he impose rationing on them, or IMF loans, or?
Oh, actually, there's a specific card in the game that is about the economy. So it's about kind of how people have, whether they've done good things or bad things in their economy, and then there's consequences for that. You play for votes at being a democracy, so you can win and lose votes as a result of that kind of activity.
I like the sound of it. So essentially, if ideally you're playing it with 6 people, would it?
Ideally. You can play it with fewer, but yeah, like any game, the more people around the table, the better fun it is.
Right. And it strikes me, it's a little bit like Civilization, that computer game where you kind of have to build a civilization and take over a piece of land and irrigate it. And
yeah, I haven't actually played that.
No, really? It sounds...
It's a bit different in that each of the players, it's actually the layout of the board is based on the UN Security Council and how it sits.
Okay.
And there's a representative around the kind of table for each of the 5 continents of the world. Yeah. And they do have to get control of and develop their infrastructure, like their housing and education.
Right.
But what's different is that the more that they work together, the more benefits there are for them.
Right.
But obviously the dictator is trying to get control of everything and take control of everything.
Yeah. Does he not always win, no?
Oh, no. It very much depends on, how players approach the game. Well, there's an element of luck and an element of strategy in it.
Yeah, so they have to work together.
Yeah.
And if they get good things going for their people, facilities and stuff, they win benefits.
That's it exactly. Each player benefits each other by doing positive things, and obviously by doing negative things, and you lose out.
And have you tested this on your friends and stuff?
Oh, yeah, it's out there.
But before you got it out there, was the first thing to do little pieces of paper that you'd have things handwritten on?
Yeah, we kind of made our own version at home first, right. And then actually we got a lot of help from the County Enterprise Board down here in Kerry. Provided some support for us to get a prototype made, and then we tested it out loads with friends, and we actually sent it off to people like Amnesty International, let them play it and give us feedback on it.
And all the feedback's been very positive.
Yeah, actually, that was kind of how it ended up where it is now, because when we did it, it was just for the crack, really. We weren't really thinking we were going to sell this thing. But people kept coming back and saying, guys, you really got to do something with this because it's such an interesting idea.
Oh, amazing.
And it's actually, you can go onto the Amnesty International website now and buy it. They've adopted it and they're selling it.
They could send it out to developing countries.
Yeah, there's an element of that too. It always felt like that sometimes along the way.
North Korea, maybe. Just a thought for you lads up there, have a go at this old game, see how you get on. If you like it, bring it into your country.
Yeah, go and have a look at the website, democracyboardgame.com.
Very good. Can we get it in normal shops around at the moment, or is it hard to get?
In some shops. It's in some bookshops and some small retail shops, but it's not quite out there on the sort of wider market yet.
It makes it all the better, doesn't it? It's hard to get, more desirable.
Well, to be honest with you, we haven't really done any promotional work. It's kind of been viral at this point. You know, people have just heard about it and bought it and told their friends, and then they've bought it, and then, you know, it's kind of just spreading like that.
I'll have to get my hands on it at some point. It sounds like great crack.
So I'll say you.
I'm facing into Monopoly over Christmas.
Oh, it's a great alternative for something like that. And actually, I mean, in the situation we're in now, I'm sure people would want to give their kids and children a few more positive social messages. So there's good things in it even for the children.
It works on this level, kids. You know, what's the problem? Once you bring it into the real world, it seems to go wrong, is the only
Perhaps that's the problem. Too many of our bankers and our government have been playing Monopoly all their lives.
Sounds that way, doesn't it? Yeah. Like a doorstep politicians. Well, listen, well done, and look forward to seeing it and reading more about it. Sounds like it's going to be a great success. But John, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And have a lovely Christmas.
And you take care.
Thanks very much indeed. It's called Democracy. Look out for it. You have the website there as well if you want to get your hands on it.